Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extreme YouTube channel, as well as the Slam Jam YouTube channel. I think some others may be joining us. To give them a chance to catch up, I'm going to play the intro credits.
Oh, well, yeah. It's the Slam Jam Show. Yes, the Slam Jam Show. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's the Slam Jam Show. What you gonna do? You dig that? You think you know me? It's the Slam Jam Show. Bang, bang, your neck, slam beat, and you woo. What a rush. It's the Slam Jam Show. Get caught the pain, the have a nice day. We're hitting the league, it's the Slam Jam Show. We're Jamie, Corey, David, yeah, baby. DJ is set, get the table. If you don't like it, we got two words for you. Slam Jam, Slam Jam. Feel the power, feel the roar. Slam Jam, it's the smackdown you've been waiting for. You can't see us, Chico, you'll be serving hard time. Oh, yeah, Slam Jam, and that's the bottom line. And call it the Slam Jam Wrestling Show. We're live, well, it's the big show. You got no chance, we're in gorilla cooking. History is best to what if you spell what we're cooking. It's the Slam Jam Wrestling Show, the champion team. Step into the Slam Jam, the Slam Jam Show. Hey yo, it's true, it's the Slam Jam Show. We didn't know, it's the Slam Jam Show. Big glass, woman ass, the Slam Jam and Show, yeah.
And there we go. Do you know, I
Okay.
need to split it because the whole second half of that song is like different lyrics and stuff, but it's just far too long to play in one clip, so I ain't going to
I
do
just
it.
like how it says it's the whole Finn show instead of LFN show. There we go.
Well, there, that's the thing, right?
That's
So,
okay.
good, God, Dave, like that. What a year this has turned out to be so far. We are in the Netflix era of WWE. AEW are now on Max, which, to be honest, in the UK, I don't even really know what that means, but I think they're on TV as well. And TNA and WWE are doing a deal. Cats and dogs are living with each other. It is just chaos everywhere. How are you?
I'm okay. Still getting to the end of this flu bug that's been going around, so I'm still coughing up a lot of stuff. So if I have to mute myself suddenly, I do apologise in advance, but nothing on camera, hopefully.
Yes.
But,
Now, Dave, I'm just going to address the guy behind you because I forget his name, Bob Ulicker or
Ulicker.
something. Right. Who was he? I know that moment, and that's a really like classic Andre the Giant moment. But
he was a baseball legend. So he's like did I don't know if he's a player or just a commentator. I don't know much about him other than this moment.
Right.
But,
Yeah. Same.
One of a few.
I recognise
past
the moment, but yeah, he's passed away, and that's sad.
I thought it'd be nice to eulogize him as the main thing that I remember him for. Just the picture of him
Gav!
straying away, Andre.
How you guys doing?
Bang bang!
Bang,
Right, how are you
bang.
doing, Gav?
It's been a long time. Yeah,
It's
I'm
been
all good.
patchy. What is that song? No, it doesn't matter. Right,
It's been a
okay.
long time.
Oh, there might be a better song. I think the song which I was thinking of might have been the theme tune to Star Trek Enterprise. Never mind that way. Right, okay. I'll save that for Geek Battle. But yeah, how are you, Gav?
I'm all good there, thanks. How you guys doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Dave, I think, is recovering.
I'm on red wine, so I must be okay now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I don't know. Others may be joining us, but I was just saying we are now officially in the Netflix era. I think there was a show a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever it began. But I don't think I had either of you guys on it, so we can discuss everything that has come with Netflix Like it's on Netflix now, and I'm going to be honest, I've missed at least 50% of the shows that are available just to watch so easily on Netflix. But there you go.
Well, I've been watching I've watched the last two because we've my wife and I have got Netflix this month for another show that we wanted to watch. So coincidentally, I was like, oh, there's WWE starting on this one as well, so I can watch a bit of that on Netflix. Like, yay!
What was the other show, Dave? What was the other show?
What was it? What was the other show? It was one of those Harlan Coben thrillers. So which is they're always good to watch. Yeah, the main thing I've sort of come away with was there is a lot of filler on Raw. There's the one this week, which had that random sort of ringside interview with Bailey, which seemed to go on forever. Then I realised that's because in certain areas, in certain countries, there are still adverts for the Raw broadcast. So there's still things going on that, you know, it explains also when you watch the replay, you had that weird little bit where it suddenly goes to black and then comes back practically at the same point. Because that's where the break had been for Netflix and then going back on. So it's a bit of a strange situation, that one, in that one. But it was nice to see that Raw sort of got back to its sort of banal normality this week.
Well, yeah, they can't do like the first week. It was like there was 4 matches, 4 in a 3-hour show. But then this week it was a shorter show. It was a like
it's 2.5 hours. It's 2.5 hours. And the rumor was that Penta went long and going to upset people.
I don't believe that at all, because the whole point is they can go any length they want now.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Okay, let's start there. Gav, have you seen this week's Raw? Have you seen Penta's? Well, not even Penta El Zero Miedo, just Penta.
Well, yeah, surprise entrance. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it was brilliant. I thought it was a brilliant match. Brilliant way to come in.
I thought it was all right. All right.
The other thing is, I was going to say, this is like a bit of going back in time. Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle, SummerSlam.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. I think Gable was given to him just to be able to control the pace of the match, basically. Just be like, this guy will learn, slow down, sell. You know, I bet Gable... Do you know what? I bet Gable was told to sidestep that Tope Suicina or whatever it was, where he just absolutely crashed and burned. Just slow this guy down. Right? If he's going a bit fast, just let him hit into something and it will slow him down. But no, good for him that he had his long-awaited debut. But now all they need to do is release his brother from AEW jail.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Apparently, they stopped selling his merch, which, to be honest, I can understand that as well. But just people don't want to work somewhere. Just let them leave, guys. Let them leave.
Alistair back.
Did you see
yeah. Apparently, go on, Dave.
I was going to say, did you see the meme going on social media of like 20-something years in the making of Penta? So it's like one picture is Penta on the right, on the left is some luchador that was like a skeleton sort of style luchador mask like 28 years ago or something on Raw.
Yeah. Okay, guys, here's a question for you. This wasn't intended that we was going to do a quiz round or something.
What's it?
What is Pentagon Jr., Penta El Zero Miedo, whatever you want to call him, what is, without cheating now, his real name?
Pentagon.
Do you know?
I don't know his real name, no.
Okay. I'll give you a second chance. His brother, Ray Phoenix or Phoenix, what is his real name?
We don't know.
Here is the crazy thing. Because I looked up about him. I was like, what different names has he gone under the different versions? Apparently, when you go onto this, it says here on Wikipedia, and I asked AI and checked it out a couple of places. It says his real name is unknown, as is often the case with masked wrestlers in Mexico, where their private lives are kept a secret from wrestling fans. And then when I looked it up somewhere else, his real name is not a matter of public record. How is that possible? How is that possible in this day and age that it isn't just out there? But I couldn't find it.
Crazy.
That is crazy, isn't it? Yeah. But also, like his kid, was it crying in the front row? And it's like someone's got to be able to like if his wife was there, someone's got to be like, wait a minute, I saw you with the husband at church, and then they like before this could be like the start of someone like knows Penta's real identity, and he like kills them. That's a great storyline.
Because they didn't even acknowledge it on the commentary at all.
What, his real name?
Like with his family.
Oh, his kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think people on like Twitter were starting to say like that's his kids and that. Because I think people like, why is that one kid crying their eyes out at his debut? They were like just the biggest AEW fan who just wanted Death Triangle to stay together forever.
So there's a slight side tangent. The name of the show of Netflix we'd subscribed to watch was is called Missing You, which my wife just texted me saying "Missing You," and I just hearted it, thinking she was saying she missed me at this moment. So I'm like in the same room, and she just went back to saying the name of the show. I was like,
okay, do you know what? I'm looking it up now. That looks interesting. I might check it out.
All Harlan Coben stuff's really, really good. Anyway. But yeah, no, it's I always find it really funny with Penta that he does this whole scary like skeleton luchador, skeleton ninja, whatever the gimmick is supposed to be. But yeah, every single time this all like comes to it with big moments, either like this the Raw debut or his AEW the steel cage match win over the Bucks, so that sort of stuff. His family are right there at ringside, and he's like big family man and all that sort of stuff. There's this scary skeleton ninja luchador. I think it's such a weird little discrepancy.
Yeah. Okay. So going on the actual match itself, other than like I don't know, it was probably Gable wasn't quite in position to catch him well enough, like because he really crashed and burned on the outside. Yeah. He kind of botched like a springboard leg drop off the bottom rope, which was unfortunate. But otherwise, I thought it was a good match. The way Gable sold the Mexican Destroyer, like he went off his head, boof, like this, was really good. Really cool.
It's quite something that they're allowing that move now, isn't it? That quite a few destroyers are sort of are in there, getting in to the ring. When the pile driver is banned, but yet the destroyer is okay.
Yeah, but like it was like Adam Cole did as the Panama Sunrise, right?
That's what I'm saying. Some people are able to allow to do it. It's a sort of, but now it's started creeping in a little bit more now.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So like, why wasn't Gable taken away on a stretcher like Cody after a package pile driver or whatever it was?
I've got a theory, right? You know this whole thing that where Gable started the his promo saying, "No, I'm gonna be the man this year. I'm gonna win a singles title." It's this thing is he's gonna win a singles title. He just advanced in the WWE Speed Tournament, so I have a really bad feeling that that's the title he's gonna win, and it's gonna be a massive damn squib.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that wasn't that during a commercial break. They just needed to fill some time.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, guys, what's on your mind? What do you want to discuss? There's a whole TNA thing. Do you want to get into that at all, guys?
I think if anything, I would like TNA to sort of like take from this sort of change around, not necessarily to do with the talent roster or anything like that, but I think their production could do with an uphaul because I actually watched Impact today, last night's Impact, and
where do you see that?
The sound is terrible. Somewhere you can watch wrestling. But the sound leveling was really bad. It's like you couldn't really hear a lot of the commentary with the crowd noise. Crowd noise was really loud. The music for like it was a package with Ace Austin where he was talking about the stuff that's happened with Chris Bay, his tag partner, and like the real life stuff that's happened there, and a lot of stuff that's happened to him as he's building up this match because they've got a pay-per-view, I think, tonight, Genesis, and but the sound level was really bad. You couldn't hear half the time he was saying anything. So hopefully they're gonna, if there's a partnership going on there, hopefully they'll let TNA have a few members of their production staff go over and say, right, let's just change this, let's change that, and have just to make it a little bit more of a thing. Because it spoiled an otherwise decent show.
Yeah. That surprised me. I haven't seen tons of TNA like in years. No. Like. I've dipped in and out. Like when Kenny Omega was winning all the titles, I'll try to see what's going on then. The Joe Hendry stuff a few months ago, I was trying to see what was going on then. But like I dip in and out. Oh, hang on. We're being invaded. I'm just going to swap him up here so we can have. Hello, KD. Say hello to the people.
Howdy, people. How are we?
We're not
Not
too
bad.
bad. Not too bad. How are you, KD?
I'm not too bad either. Sorry, I'm just setting. Well, I'm set up. I'm just getting the volumes and stuff.
No,
We're
it's
just
all good.
we're talking TNA.
TNA. Yeah. Okay. So
Tell TNA. Okay, cool.
the observation I was going to make is, if you say it's not that great, it's not that great. But I thought TNA always had fairly good production. Like, so I don't know. Perhaps if something's gone wrong on this show.
Seems
But-
to be
It depends what TNA we're talking about, because I used to think that, and I saw something recently, one of the ones when JBL popped up, and it looked terrible. Like it was one of the last pay-per-views, I think. I'm not sure. It looked really tiny. The hard cam was atrocious. That's what I noticed more than anything.
Yeah.
I was talking about the sound leveling. There's a lot of sound issues in last night's show.
Oh,
It was like
okay.
there's something. I won't go over it again, but I was saying that's something that if this partnership with WWE can happen, maybe they can help improve their production.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
let's go ahead.
What's the details with that? Do we know? Because I was kind of confused when I heard it mentioned. I don't know if you've already mentioned that. Sorry.
I can bring it up. I did see it just a moment ago.
I think essentially TNA is now their new developmental brand.
Well, yeah, because they said between TNA and NXT premium live events. So I expect that includes the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, someone's going to come in from TNA.
Joe Hendry's definitely being in the Royal Rumble, without a doubt.
Definitely.
He's winning the world title tomorrow night, and he's going tonight, and he's going to win, and he's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Where I think we talked about it before. Where's Ty Dillinger? Is he still around?
He's in NXT, right?
Yeah.
You can't see my hands. I'm putting up the 10, but yeah.
No, let me get this goddamn this is
NXT and he's Sean Spears.
I was going to say Ty Dillinger's dead.
Right. Okay. Let's bring up their roster, because if you're WWE, I think in the Royal Rumble they're going to have Dolph Ziggler, the Hardy Boys, basically. And
Masha Slamovich turned up on NXT the other day in the audience.
Hang on, what's happening here? How is Moose the World Tag Team Champions on his own?
He's X Division champion.
Oh shit!
Well,
sorry.
he's not the Knockouts champion.
I was reading underneath.
No, he's not the Knockouts tag champion.
Yeah, the hardest. Yeah. Okay, he's X Division. He was world
apparently
champion.
That PCO is really like a known guy, like backstage. He's been in the business a long time, so he could.
Rebecca.
Yeah, he was a Quebecer. Jean-Pierre Lafitte. Yeah. Do you remember
Jean-Pierre Lafitte, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember when he had like a pirate eye, like an eye patch, and was feuding with Bret Hart?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's him. He's almost unrecognizable, and it's not just makeup. It's like he doesn't look like the same guy anymore.
No.
But yeah. But like who are dear. Here
Right. It's the one next to him as well.
He's gonna take a bite. What? Top dollar.
Top dollar.
Yeah, he wants back in WWE. All of these guys, like Brian Myers. So we're gonna see.
You can't sleep on Alan Angels as well.
Like, okay, but who out of other than like the ex-WWE guys, who are WWE going to want to have? They're going to bring over Eric Young back into NXT again and stuff like this. I don't know. Who are they targeting? Gail Kim. Oh, will she? Oh, yeah, she might.
I didn't know Jimmy Havoc was in TNA now.
Sorry?
Since when was Jimmy Havoc in TNA?
That's not Jimmy Havoc, dude. That's Jessica Havoc.
Why is she taking his gimmick out of anyone's?
She's been doing that for a lot longer than he has.
Oh, fair enough then. Okay, what he stole her gimmick then?
Oh wait, we can all Fandango again.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan Grace is going to be up there because she's already been on NXT a few times, isn't she? So she'll probably
It's going to be interesting in her case and Hendry's case in particular. I think they literally will never properly be WWE superstars, and they'll always just be bouncer back people.
I don't know about Jordan Grace. I think she dropped the title, didn't she? Like to Masha Slamovich not that long ago. So she's probably on the way out. I'd have thought, and going to be full time with the fair.
If she goes onto the main roster, then yeah.
Hmm.
But otherwise, some of
Well.
these people will just be in NXT and TNA.
I think
Yeah.
Joe Hendry Moore, I'd agree with that.
Oh, Matt Cardona.
Well, yeah. What's the situation there? Like, imagine
Yeah,
if he made it back onto WWE TV just because they show like a clip of the TNA roster stood there at
Yeah.
NXT.
He's not TNA roster. I suppose he's even on there. He's just sort of like he's independent, isn't he? So he's but
Well,
he
he
was
is
in-
independent, but
yeah,
everyone
he was,
is
he, was in
TNA.
a, he was on an interview this week on something saying that
Ariel Helwani.
he thinks he's due a return to WWE, and he's saying like, if my music hit at the Royal Rumble, it'd be the pop of the night and all that sort of bits and pieces. So I think he's definitely looking that way.
He wants to end his career there, apparently, or wants to go back there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God,
Fucking Shogun.
Santino! Look at Santino nowadays.
Wow.
I didn't even recognize him.
That'd be great. Who the fuck is Shogun? I've never seen him before.
No, I don't know him.
Oh,
I don't know
God.
half this roster.
Crazy.
Like,
crazy.
honestly. Oh look, they're definitely bringing in Tessa though.
I was about to say.
Definitely not.
Oh,
No
he's already
chance.
come in, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
Hogan
think
segment.
I genuinely like the rumors a few weeks ago were that this is just a gateway into bringing her into WWE. They're half bringing her into WWE by having her in TNA, which will then be on NXT, and they'll judge things from there.
I don't believe that. They
can't
wouldn't
bring
need to put an excuse in like that.
But they literally just had Hogan back, and apparently Hogan's going to be back again.
Yeah, you saw what happened there when they brought him back.
No,
Yeah,
but apparently they're bringing him back again. Apparently they're bringing him
different,
back again.
and I
So,
really hope that Saturday Night's main event audience do exactly what the Netflix audience did.
yeah.
Oh, they ain't coming back again. After
They've
that.
got to let them know and say no, we do not want Hogan.
Yeah.
Although that was some of the most mainstream coverage they got from the Netflix on Raw.
Hey, it's
What,
another
Hogan getting
American
booed?
Yeah,
Hogan
I've seen it on
getting
so
booed.
many things, man.
Yeah, Jesus. I don't know. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting, actually, if TNA have... Did you say Genesis tonight?
Yeah.
Well, are we going to see someone NXT show up there?
You'd have thought.
Possible.
Yeah, I think that's possible as well. I think that's possible.
Although, like, has anyone done that really yet? Has it only really been the other way
Well,
around?
Well, they have.
they
They've
have.
sort of NXT have had like Jordan Grace, Joe Hendry, Hammerstone, and a few others and things like that. The Rascals, that angle with Wesley and everything, which is really good. Turn up. So they've had all like TNA sort of like a lot of like their top name people, and instead TNA have ended up with someone and then someone else and then someone else. The sort of the lower like end people that you can't remember their names.
Yeah.
It's obvious which way the partnership's leaning in WWE.
Exactly,
guys.
yeah.
But
As
yeah,
it should
like
be,
I
really.
think WWE's motivation for doing this is they want to legitimately push AEW into third place. I think they're just trying to boost TNA to knock down AEW ultimately.
I don't think they give a crap about AEW myself.
Well, if
I
AEW
do.
keep putting out their programming that they are at the minute, then it's a possibility.
See, I feel sorry for AEW because I genuinely am very supportive of them. I just can't stop tweeting bad stuff about them on Twitter, though. It's
I was about to
too
say,
easy.
you've turned the Slam Jam Twitter into a shitposting thing for AEW.
I know, it's so funny.
Really, though.
And the reactions you get, though, right? But like, I shit on WWE as well.
Yeah.
But like, I think I shared with you the other day. They said something about for Penta's debut. They said about that he was in Lucha Underground even, and I just wrote AEW doesn't exist. It got over 1,300 likes. I was like, wow, there is something to learn from this. So I was just like, okay, give the people what they want. Dev.
Well, go on, Dev.
Morning.
We should be having like a countdown meter and a klaxon going off every time someone comes in at the moment, shouldn't we?
I know.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, well, like Geek Battle may get slightly delayed because it feels like there's a lot of us here, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
graphic,
if not,
by the
then
way, Dev.
we'll have more shows next week and stuff like this as well. But yeah, what else is on anyone's? Dev, what's on your mind with the world of professional wrestling?
Okay, so I've watched both an American version and a British version of like Netflix Raw, right? The American one.
I bet
has
the
adverts.
British version is good. Right? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, the
That's
American
Fighting
version has
Friends.
adverts.
Yeah.
Like during the show. and it feels like
Wow.
there's
Oh, we're
more
talking about
adverts
this,
than before. And it's really weird. Like everybody thought, oh, we're paying for Netflix, there'll be less adverts, but
A lot of
like
people
there's the
thought
same
that.
amount.
I was saying
Now
this,
they
yeah.
just get all the money
this-
from the adverts.
It's like what's the point in paying for the advert? I mean, paying for the subscription if you're watching the adverts as well.
Well, no, look, for WWE in the UK at least, right? Wow, are we all in England? That's so weird on one of
Yeah.
these shows. Usually we're all like American or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Oh, cool.
it was what was WWE being shown on BT Sport?
Sky, BT.
Yeah, like suddenly they made it like on
TNT.
Virgin at least that you'd have to pay like an extra £20 a month to
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
So I didn't bother. I was just like, well, it'll come onto Netflix as a nice little follow up to some Squid Game action. So you know,
Yep.
I don't mind that there's still the advert breaks or whatever. But they have like these weird little things where they just show close ups of different wrestlers now, don't they?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, like I was watching the NXT with The Rock on it, and it would just keep going to like close ups of loads of people who I didn't really know. I was like, who are these people? What is this
And there's
meant to be
interviews
telling
you'll
us?
get on R1, I think, that you don't get in America, or one of the way rounds, however
Yeah.
it works.
Like
I
speaking
know.
of The Rock on NXT, I wish it was more like if you've seen it when Santino like met up with his daughter in TNA.
What happened? Because I didn't.
Okay,
As
so
we already
Santino met up with
established
his-
here, one of us has watched TNA in the last 8 years. So
Okay, so because of the NXT TNA partnership that started a few months ago, Ariana Grace, who's on NXT but Santino's daughter, appeared on TNA as a NXT ambassador, and Santino spent the entire episode gushing over how proud he is of her and stuff.
yeah,
And then The Rock is like, "I don't know you. You live in my house."
well, he did say she was the final boss of NXT.
Yeah.
They put
Yeah.
her over pretty well.
You
Yeah,
know she's not.
no,
Hmm.
she
That's
is a
awful, Rocky.
nepotism baby. It's
Even in
pure
kayfabe,
nepotism.
she's not.
Yeah.
I don't mind
Um,
her in that role. It's better than that fucking weird cult figure she was doing before.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't mind. I wouldn't against it.
But,
What did we think of The Rock's appearances? Because it feels like he just was like, "Hey, Cody," you know, and like there was no beef between them at all,
Yeah.
and
I don't know
they
what
could
that's-
reignite it. But how do they explain that away?
Moana.
I think something happened, didn't it? Wasn't it? Off script or off TV.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it was. But
So I'm gonna borrow heavily from a podcast I listened to called Grapple Podcast that had this theory on there, saying that it's much like the Fast and Furious situation where if you have a character come in and they're on the bad side of them, suddenly between movies they've suddenly had some sort of mending offences off screen, and so the next time they're on there they're a good guy. So it's very much that sort of same situation where Rock and Cody have mended fences with each other off screen at some point. Suddenly, oh yeah, Cody, you're great, yeah, you're doing a great job with the title.
the
It's
thing
like,
is, like,
hello? What?
he beat him like a government mule, like, you know, and then it's like Mama Rhodes. Like, what's that
He even
going
joked about Mama Rhodes
Yeah.
on Raw. It's like, how can you
And
do
then
this?
on
You're like,
NXT, he's doing that whole thing of like, oh, last year it said, oh, how can you be mean to Cody? And this year it's like, how can you be friends with Cody? It's like, yeah, we're pointing this out, Rock, because it don't make any fucking sense.
I know why I think I know why he kind of went back on it on NXT a bit. I think that was just straight up because when he said when he was in Ava's office and he said, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna say. I think he straight up meant that. So when he got out there, he thought he'd be able to just come up with new stuff on the whim, and he couldn't. So he just kind of started falling back into that.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
when he
possibly,
was out there.
possibly.
But it's that thing of saying to the audience, how dare you criticize me? Just enjoy the ride where I'm taking you on this
Yeah.
one. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
no. We can have our say. Thank you very much, Dwayne.
Okay,
Um,
will he wrestle at Mania though?
Nah.
Doesn't look like it.
No.
Doesn't look like it, no.
Moana
Oh,
reshoots, man.
I was going to ask, is this just corporate Rock being the Netflix guy for the first week, though?
Yeah, maybe.
Usher it in. Is it a case of
Yeah, he just wants. He just like whatever he was filming. He was like, "There's a big moment it needs to be credited to me. So
Correct.
Oh
he
yeah.
came out, he did that, and then he's gone back. You know.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
he generally thinks he's that much of a rub for WWE that he'll help.
I think he does help though.
Does.
I think he genuinely
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Last
No,
year,
definitely.
all the stuff with The Rock and Cody and Roman and all that,
Yeah.
that was the best WWE has been in 25 years. I swear. Last year was a special time.
Yeah.
And I
Swear.
credit that story. Like, do you remember when there was like that press conference where he slapped Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who gives a
Yeah.
shit about a press conference normally?
Yeah.
But that, it was like must-see TV. I was
Yeah.
watching
Yeah,
that on a train on like a tiny little screen. I was thinking, oh my God, I've got to see
That
what.
was
oh, no,
also
it's
partly
buffering.
with
And I
worried
was like
about them
panicked that I
killing
couldn't
it.
see it. It was that good. Dev.
Yeah.
So I imagine he was at WrestleMania. Sorry, he was like doing an interview saying, "So I was at WrestleMania, and I spoke to Triple H, and he told me that the WWE was struggling, and I told him the best thing to do would be to go on Netflix, and because of The Rock, the WWE is now on Netflix. You're welcome."
Yeah. No, like I've said this conspiracy. Oh my God, what was that? What? Don't try to. Yeah,
What-
why
oh,
was
it's
he trying
Moana,
to get
isn't
this weird thing over?
Yahoo!
It's Moana.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
What was that?
no.
It's
Yeah.
Maui.
He's good at it though.
Oh, it didn't work for me. It did not work for me. That did not
No.
work at all.
But referencing something from a Disney film didn't do it for you. That's strange, man.
No, yeah, exactly. Did
His
not.
name's not
work
Cap.
for me.
I've got 2 little girls, so I'm all in.
But
It's a good film
there
anyway,
a-
though, to be fair, Moana.
Was
Is
that-
there going to be a problem though,
Good.
where you've got, as we were saying a little earlier about the Netflix on Raw having sort of essentially no time constraints, but we've had 1 3-hour edition, we've 1 2.5 hour edition, and SmackDown is still going to be like 3 hours in length. I'm not watching SmackDown for 3 hours, not a chance. I'll watch the highlights and things like that, but that'd be about.
Well,
I don't know if there's enough on there.
Guys,
to sort of,
this is where I've got the perfect system, right? I'm not going to watch it live because you've got to watch it for that length of time. So every time is like a Wednesday night or a Saturday night. As soon as Dynamite's about to begin, I put Raw on. As soon as Collision's about to begin, I just watch SmackDown. And you can forward through and skip stuff. It's the perfect time to watch these things.
oh yeah,
Well, I do it like 10 minutes after, like an hour after it started. So I start watching Raw at like 2, so I can do that.
Yeah.
2 a.m. England time, you know.
Wait, you purposely start it late at 2 a.m. England time. You're like, no, I'm going to wait longer for this to begin.
I don't always watch it all that night, you know, but
Nah,
I'll watch
yeah,
it then
yeah,
when I
yeah.
wake up in the morning. If
Yeah,
I don't watch it all on the night. Because I want to
No,
go through the adverts, man, or the fluff, you know.
Absolutely. Like, I stayed up to watch Penta's debut, but after that, I was like, sleep time. Dev.
Regarding the length, they did say like there's no limit, as in they can actually go shorter as well if they need to. Like they didn't need to fill 3 hours. And about starting the late thing, like so the debut episode, I started at like 2:30 because I decided to cook before the show, and I was like, I was skipping forward.
What hemisphere are we all on?
I was going to say 2 o'clock in the morning.
So
Yeah.
what were you cooking, Dev? Is this a Breaking Bad situation we're getting ourselves
yes.
into?
Yes, it was. It's how I afford Netflix.
Ah.
I was skipping forward, and it was like entrance, half an hour, entrance, 45 minutes,
Yeah.
entrance, and the match didn't start till like 10 to 2.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know if anyone watches. I got told about a clip of it, and I saw a clip of it on YouTube. But you know the comedian Limmy, it's a Scottish guy who's on there. He apparently was talking on his Twitch about Raw, about WWE sort of starting off on there, and he pointed out something that's really bugs me as well. So it's getting all ready for this first match between Solo and Roman. The whole thing, like it's the tribal combat match, and they're about to say they're in the ring, they've just been introduced, about to see it. Then they cut to a video package about it, like hyping the match up. You're like, so and he's going, so they're just spending just standing there while this video is going on, and it's pointing out this whole thing of like bringing people out or having their entrance. It happened again on Raw the other day when Damian Priest was introduced for the main event, And they cut to an advert, then they cut to an interview with Rey Mysterio, and they cut to something else. And he's just standing there in the middle of the ring going, why am I out here?
But do you know what? If you notice, Kevin Owens, he plays it really well when it happens to him.
Yeah,
He'll be just sitting on the rope, and he'll be like, "What the fuck? Like, what's the time?"
Yeah, no. It's right when people do bring that up, but it's like, why do they do that?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys. So something else for you guys. What do we feel about that MJF promo with Jeff Jarrett this week?
Oh,
I saw it. And
I saw that. That was the majority of what I've seen from AEW this week, and I don't understand how this works in terms of AEW's deal with like Martha Hart, the Owen Hart Foundation, and stuff like this. If they're using a reference to, Jeff Jarrett's just leeching off of your deceased friend's thing. It's like, well, that's about Owen Hart. They did the Sting entrance, which they checked in. And if I was Martha at this stage, I'd be like, you're just doing all of the same shitty WWE tactics, which is why I didn't have anything to do with you for 2 decades.
No, that's not why though. She wouldn't let him do anything because she blames them for his death. So she didn't mind them making money.
So she
off
doesn't
him.
mind how it's exploited as long as it's not the ones.
Well, you say exploited, but their family like being involved in, he might appreciate his name being, still used.
No.
Jeff Jarrett, who's a friend, known him longer than probably his wife.
That's Eddie. Eddie wouldn't have the problem. Like, Owen probably would.
Well, yeah, like they always said that Owen, wouldn't have wanted the show to continue. But anyway, I can say as a fan, I found that like I wasn't watching live. I saw the clip on the internet, but that was sort of like, oh, that's a channel changing kind of like leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I don't think they should do stuff like that. Basically, there's other ways. There's other ways for MJF to get a reaction.
What you put in the chat, Dave, was exactly how I felt. So
I was going to say, I was sort of say. So there's a couple of things. So first of all, I think objectively they didn't go as far as I was afraid they were going to. So I was really afraid he was going to say something really, really horrible. And he did just stop at the sort of like, oh, but you're just leeching off your dead friend or what have you, which I think was as far as they could probably go in terms of taste and decency. But my problem is that it's the same shtick from MJF. It's the same stuff that he's constantly doing that is so lazy. It's just he comes out every single feud he's been in. He is just going out there saying, well, I'm going to say a few things that might have something to do with real life. And you can say a few things back to me that have something to do with my real life. And that sort of thing, just to be edgy and things like that. It just highlights to me a lack of creativity. And they could easily just really go with this Jeff Jarrett feud of him just sort of like trying to the thing last week where he said he'll come out. He said he'll try and help Jeff win the title or get to this whole thing of him being on the last year and things like that of his career, and say, "Oh, I'll help you do it." And obviously, it was turned away. But then it was like, "Oh, but I'm going to say some nice stuff about you," and then Jarrett will say, "Oh, I'm going to say some nice stuff about you," even though that wasn't really what Jarrett is known for. It wasn't. He didn't bring real life stuff into things. He was just happened to be in a position where he was a bit of a monopolized his position. Throughout all of Jarrett's career, there's been zero that has ever referenced back to that he was a tag team with Owen Hart ever. Nothing in when he was in WCW, in TNA, nothing ever. He did like a podcast about it like 5 years ago and said, "Oh, this is the first time I've ever spoken about it," and that was it. He hasn't it's not like they could say to Rey Mysterio, it's like, oh, you came out with the armband and stuff like this for Eddie for years and stuff like this. But that wasn't what Jarrett did at all. Bringing in like the reference to Kurt Angle, I forget what there was a line which wasn't a bad line, but again, it was what was lazy
the line?
Again. It's lazy again. It's just like, oh Angle, and
Olympic gold medal ball sack tastes like something like that.
That was it. Yeah.
I do have an unpopular AEW opinion I want to put across at some point, though. When we finish
go for it now. Why not? For a penny.
Sure, were we still talking about that at all, or
no? Let it ebb and flow as the wind takes us.
because I'm not normally a big fan of AEW. I watch it every week. I don't always watch Collision now, but I watch Dynamite properly every week. So I feel like I can say this, and I've always watched it. I always thought the storytelling was kind of poop. I thought it's got better lately. I feel like there's a lot more of a. It just makes a lot more sense, linear storytelling from A to B, and part of that for me, I've been a fan of the Death Rider storyline. There's aspects to it I really don't like. There's certain aspects I don't like. Like I hate the idea that we don't see the belt. That kind of is a bit silly for a new company. If it was WWE, where that title's been around forever, or variants of it, be different. But I don't think you should do that for this, for a new company's title, and especially when it looks so beautiful too. And I think Darby probably should have done a bit. There's aspects I don't like to it and where it's going, but I think in general, I don't think it's this terrible storyline that people were making it out to be. I don't know what y'all think.
Like I said, I've dipped in and out more and more with AEW in recent months. I don't mind the Death Rider stuff. I'm so glad they're not called the Blackpool Combat Club anymore. That was one of my biggest things ever. But the being having like leaders like having Claudio there, who can be a really good baby face, having Mox there, and then being overly vicious and stuff the way they are. That's a little bit of a disconnect. And also when they're dealing with the likes of Darby Allin or Orange Cassidy and stuff like this, I don't think it legitimizes them as like worthy world title opponents either, when they just like brutalizing them. And but at the moment, is the plan that they're still forging ahead with Mox versus Cope? Is that still the direction they're in?
I'm guessing that's the next pay-per-view.
Yeah. I only mention it because I wanted to bring up that he's now called Cope. But anyway, Dev.
Cope the dope.
Okay, so with the Death Rider concept, I love the concept. It's like the Nexus, if they weren't buried, or NWO if they didn't have 25 members. Like they're doing the whole like this group against the company thing really well. But the problem is their opponents aren't correct. Like they have like Darby and like Orange Cassidy and stuff.
Yeah.
When it should be people like Kenny Omega, Brian Cage, big beefy guys who've been like day one, who are there to protect AEW.
Well, yeah,
rather than the skinny little bouncers that try to like defend it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that I'm guessing that's going to be what they're going to lead on to once, because at the moment they're doing Omega and Ospreay against the Callis family, aren't they? And that's sort of like thing of these two rivals that are being brought together, which is quite not decent enough storyline, I think, on that side of things.
And then Continental title from the looks of it.
It seems that will lead on to Okada and Omega, I would imagine, and then Ospreay hopefully will be then put into this situation and things like that. But it's like it's also how they bring the Bucks back. Because the Bucks surely are going to have an interest in this whole thing of them like letting this happen and all that sort of stuff, and then pissing off Japan for a bit.
I was going to say, I don't really watch. Well, I haven't watched in a little while, but this Death Riders group, weren't they supposed to change AEW and be more for the new people and all that kind of stuff? Yeah. So why are they tagging up with Jericho?
Yeah, this is the thing.
That's just a one-off and makes no sense.
Oh, right.
Doesn't make any sense that they would tag with anybody other than their own.
Well, if they're tagging with Jericho, if they're attacking arguably the up-and-comers, the AEW originals.
Yeah, those up-and-comers, Cope and FTR.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, like, but like, well, exactly. Yeah.
It's a bit of a mesh, isn't it?
So Hobbs went against Mox on Dynamite last night, right?
Yeah.
Failed. Was there a thing about they broke his ankle or something?
They pulmonized it, but that doesn't mean anything nowadays.
Spoiler alert, he's in the 12-man tag on Saturday.
He's what?
Oh, they would have recorded it.
That's a spoiler. They taped the collision yesterday, and I've read the spoilers. I'm not going to spoil the result, but he is in that match.
I don't care.
Okay. So it's not that, because I was going to say, if they've suddenly pushing for Powerhouse Hobbs to be a world title challenger, and then they're instantly breaking his ankle, it's like, well, he should be gone for 6 weeks.
I think it's just
Apparently, the idea is that Darby Allin's going to come back and be the one to take the title off him, is what I've heard. But I don't know if that's true. We don't even know if he's going to be coming back alive. He's going to climb a bloody Kilimanjaro, man.
Oh, exactly.
People
But
die
I
on
think
that
that's,
thing all the time.
yeah,
They
I
use
think
dead bodies as markers.
they've written him off to do this mountain climb, and then I think the idea is they're going to build to him and Moxley for All in Texas, which I don't know if that's going to be a thing. I thought you'd build Moxley and Ospreay. That would have been a much bigger match, I think.
I can't
Yeah.
believe that Ospreay wasn't in the main event of Wembley Stadium last year.
Mhm.
Still, it's like because obviously they had Ospreay there going back a year earlier when he was still in New Japan. But this is the problem. It's like they've got some people, and sometimes they'll bring them in as like, oh, they're a big deal, and then they just kind of are there for so long that you've really got to build them up again.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like he asked not to.
It goes to the booking, isn't it? Really, though, of AEW. Like, I think they need to get a proper booker in.
I think they need The Rock.
Definitely.
No, I
Shame,
agree.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, Dev.
Dev?
Also, something interesting I read about AEW is Hangman Page will never be. This is a rumor that Hangman Page will never be pushed again because he made Tony Khan fire his favorite wrestler.
Now, Jack Perry,
I
one
don't
day.
think they'd put Page in any sort of position at all if that was the case.
Wait, I've missed that entirely. So Hangman Page not going to get pushed? Oh, because of Punk getting fired.
Punk getting fired.
Well, I would just love to know what Punk and Khan's actual relationship is like, because surely it has to be that we don't like each other, we hate each other now, or something like this.
As far as I know,
He can't still be his favorite wrestler.
He was his favorite wrestler, but I'm not sure what's going on now.
Yeah,
I think Punk just think Khan's
I was going to say,
be
is
my
it
dog.
Tony Khan just like Seth Rollins then now? You know?
yeah. It's interesting. What going back onto the WWE side of things. So we kind of touched on this earlier about is The Rock going to wrestle at WrestleMania? Let's give. We're still a couple of weeks out from the Royal Rumble, and obviously Punk still has his favor, which could come into it whether he wins or loses.
Oh yeah.
Who are our contenders to win the Rumble? Obviously, Cena was the first to announce that he was in it. Go on, Gav.
Corey Graves.
Okay, coming back to this man, CM Punk, I think that is pure Colt Cabana treatment that he's got there. Like, if you go back and watch Punk's return to WWE, there is a video which shows just like Michael Cole and Corey Graves stood there, and Michael Cole was like, "Oh my god," and Corey Graves is just like this. He was very just like, we're not friends anymore," kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we know what
he
Punk
ignored him
does.
for years, didn't he?
If Adam Hangman Page is to be believed, there's these quiet little moments backstage where the true Punk just says like, "Don't let Cole onto anything but AEW Dark Elevation," and then Punk is just in Daddy Triple H's ear saying, "I think Corey Graves for NXT." You know, I just think it's right, Dev.
Okay, so with the whole do you remember the whole scene when he came back? It's like Michael Cole was high, like Corey Graves was pissed, Drew McIntyre was pissed, Seth was pissed, and Randy was like, "Hurry the fuck up."
Yeah, it bugs me. Look, I love the wrestling. I think they're genuinely I think they're on the verge of bringing kayfabe back as a real thing, because all the stuff like, no, CM Punk and Seth, they really hate each other. It's like, no, they don't. They just made like millions of dollars probably for that match. That one match, the royalties from it forever.
Even you can see that even with the Netflix photo, they're all in together in the Netflix photo, and even
exactly. They're at the same event. They're chilling.
Yeah.
It's just like they're doing their breast. Whoa, Freudian slip there. They're doing their best to bring back kayfabe. I'm sure, Dave.
I was going to say as well, though, that with the whole thing with Corey Graves and that stuff. I mean, that's another story in itself. This whole Corey Graves situation, but it's that film they put out of Punk's return. It was behind the scenes, wasn't it, of him at Survivor Series and the various people that he was saying hello to at the end. One of them was Corey. So it's like they had their they have had their issues and things like that. But I think he's probably one of the ones who did go up. I think he said that when Punk came back, he went over and spoke to him and would just to clear the air and all that sort of bits and pieces. Well, I think that's what a lot of people did. I would imagine that him and Seth probably did a bit of air clearing in this time, as well as Drew and everything like that. And they're all quite happy to work together and things like that. So it's they're, like you said, they're making more of this in order to sell tickets, in order to sell streams, in order to sell pay-per-views, all that sort of stuff. So it really is like stuff that's, you know, mountain molehill situation, you know.
That's the way you stay in WWE. You be a professional by, even if you don't like the people you work with them.
Yeah.
If you can't be a professional, they won't let you in there. They won't let you. They
You've
won't
got
push
to trust the person with your body as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Go on, Dev.
Speaking of like merchandise and like making money and stuff, how long did AEW take to bring out lucha masks instead of the
AEW?
merchandise? Yeah,
Not a
like I don't think they ever bring out a.
Well, no,
like,
apparently, I've heard about this. Apparently, the guy that makes the mask, there was something there that they weren't allowed to do it, but WWE have managed to get it, or they've allowed it now. Something has changed for that.
Yeah, because like you're saying like, oh, he's been there for so long, but there's been no like mask merch for Penta.
But then they haven't done it with any of them, so there's got to, you know.
Do you know? It's the interesting thing when you listen to some of the stuff about the history of WCW, or like you'll hear Eric Bischoff say about that. They'd get a video game made, there'd be a toy company, but they would barely get anything made in a timely fashion to capitalize on anything.
Yeah.
WWE have integrated that into what they do since day one. When you think of AEW, literally AEW, I don't know if it's different now. It was the Young Bucks selling their t-shirts through what's it called?
PWTs.
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees. And they were kind of like, well, there's Pro Wrestling Tees, they're benefiting from this. The Young Bucks have their YouTube channel, they're doing this. Cody has his thing. And then like Tony Khan is funding this AEW thing. And it was all these interconnected things where I think the more it's gone on, the more it's like, no, this is just AEW. And I think there was all these, hey, we want you involved, so you're still your own entity kind of thing. And it just means that they can't do these deals, Dave.
And the marketing was run by Nick Jackson or Matt Jackson's wife as well, out of the room. So there's that too.
True.
But I mean, you'd have seen it when we went to All In both years, David. I don't know if you saw the merch stands and things like that. Yeah. It was either they were on the way up to the stadium and around the stadium and things like that. But the amount of actual merch that was on offer was pitiful.
Yeah,
it was. There wasn't
you couldn't even buy.
Variety.
You couldn't buy action figures. You'd have thought there'd have been like the first year there wasn't even a program.
Whoa!
Oh wow!
Yeah, the second year there was. And I did get a program. But the first year there wasn't even a program. You know, so. Yeah, I see Capelfaith has arrived here. I'm going to bring Cap in. He should have been on this show anyway.
Wow.
Oh, great. This is where we get to teach Capelfaith things that happened a year ago.
Yeah.
Yes, catch me up. What happened? Who was there? Why am I here?
So, you here? You're the one who signed in, mate.
We're going to slowly transition this show from Slam Jam into Geek Battle in a few minutes, but we'll give it another couple of minutes to see.
I see you've changed your hair since last time.
Why is Cap Cena?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, because the sickness that has infected me has made me invisible.
Okay, before we go though, I do want to bring it back just very quickly. What are our early predictions at this stage for who's winning the Rumble and who's going? What are the main events of WrestleMania? Because in my opinion, it should still be Cody and Rock and Roman and Punk. You've got two things there. And then next year, or at SummerSlam, or SummerSlam's a 2-night event this year as well. Yeah. So you could have Roman versus Rock there if you really wanted. It doesn't just have to be WrestleMania anymore if you're doing SummerSlam 2 nights.
Yeah. I think Cena's going to win the Rumble. Yeah, Cena. He has to really. Unless... No, he's got to win it.
Cena versus Cody does work.
Yeah.
Yes.
The voice from the minion out of like the darkness. Anyone with other thoughts on this? I just want Punk to get that WrestleMania main event.
I
I
actually
think
think Punk's going to win the Rumble
Wow.
I don't think it's
and
winning the
then
Rumble.
main event thingy.
I don't think Punk's winning the Rumble. I think he might win Elimination
Yeah.
Chamber.
Yeah.
And he
What about
might
that favor?
challenge Gunter.
Yeah, I think that.
What? But that's not a main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it is.
Night 1, night 2.
Yeah, it is.
No, I don't think
Great challenge match.
it'll be a great match. But I think if you're saying Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Roman Reigns, The Rock, CM Punk, John Cena, how is Gunther suddenly in the main event?
Because he's a
not quite
champion.
that-
He's great.
He's not
Also,
quite that
also,
level.
also, guys,
He is.
Kind of work.
Question.
I finally saw Gunther versus Sheamus, and Gunther is
Oh, for
not
God's
that
sake, that was a year and a half ago, Cap.
big. But like I was expecting a way bigger dude, but like he was just a relatively.
He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But like I was expecting like the Great Khali or like the Big Show tall height, but like you.
Cap, can I ask you something? Have you got like access to YouTube?
Yes.
I'm begging you to watch
Oh
some
my God.
recent highlights on WWE so you can catch up a bit.
Every link David sends me is country blocked.
What a bit.
Oh, is it? It could be. Okay, look, hang on. I'm bringing
sorry.
Dave on. Dave, you are
Oh
now
my God.
officially accidentally on Slam Jam.
What is this like
Dave.
promotion, Slam Jam, and Geek
Yeah.
Battle? Like,
Yeah. Dave
I
MC,
did
right?
one of those shows once.
WrestleMania main event. What's it going to be?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so guys, we will begin to wrap things up there. We'll have another Slam Jam next week. Quite possibly, if people can do it, well, we can discuss this later. But we could aim for something like Tuesday or something to make sure it does it gets in there.
I don't work Tuesdays.
Oh wow.
Okay, good. Right.
Or
Okay.
David, or you can
what?
just basically hijack the Geek Chat, and we can hijack the Slam Jam guys for the Geek Battle when we don't have people.
There we go. Now, on this note, let's find out where we can find everyone on the social media. KD, where can the people find you?
You can't find my face on the camera at the moment because it's gone out of focus again. But I might stick around for a bit anyway in Geek Battle if that's okay. But you
Yeah, of
can
course.
find the podcast on
No.
KD Comedy Podcast, Squishy Logic, 2Ps on the podcast, a brand new episode every Friday. Hi day. We had a brand new episode come out today that was 2Ps in the podcast, talk about a bank heist. I bring out my ideas for the 7 wonders of the world. It's on there. Just go on.
Nice. Also, that's a really good podcast name. 2Ps in a podcast. I like
Thank
it.
you. I was shocked when it wasn't taken.
Yeah, I'm pissed off because I would have taken that. No, I'm joking. Right,
Okay,
okay,
that's fine now.
Gav.
You catch me here next week or whenever it is, and on X. Oh yeah, the best Gav on X.
Dave. Oh, and no, Jervis Green.
Yeah. David Jervis Green basically everywhere. So at David Jervis Green on Instagram and David Jervis Green on Blue Sky. 'Cause I'm trying to get on there now and make more of that because it seems a nicer place.
Okay, Dev.
You can find me on you can find me as Foodette on TikTok, Twitch, and now Red Note.
Ooh. Do you know what? I downloaded Red Note, but I've got no. It's in Chinese. I can't read a goddamn thing. But
TikTok's
I
going to
really
be banned too.
Still a RedTube.
Yeah, in like 2 days in America.
no, I don't think it's like RedTube. Yeah, because TikTok. I don't think it's going away in England, so I don't care.
No.
Nah.
But no, I download it every time there's a new platform. I try to be the first one on there. Right, Capelthave, where can the people find you in terms of?
Can we find you?
Oh, can you find me here?
Yeah.
You can find me haunting Dave's gaming channel. Other than that, you can find me here on the Geek Battle Show.
Okay, Dave, MC.
You can find me beating Kath to death with a stick. Obviously annoys my chat section on Dave MC Gaming, so go and check that channel out.
They
Okay,
get banned
Dave,
now from the comment.
That was a powerful Slam Jam debut there, Dave MC.
Right.
Right, so with that,
That
until
was
next
pretty good.
time, guys, just refresh the Extreme Improv channels, and you'll find us on Geek Battle Show in a moment. Otherwise, check us out for Slam Jam on all platforms. Until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, and ciao for now. Now I need to click end stream without kicking everyone out. Can I do that?